Paul Dillon. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I apologize for taking such a long hiatus from the last couple of videos. I recently got married. Let that soak in for a second. It's still a good feeling. My wife and I planned our entire wedding. Now, it wasn't a huge wedding, but it was a wedding nonetheless, so there's a lot of planning. So that took a lot of work, but I'm excited to say that I married my best friend and I'm extremely happy. But it feels good to be back, let's be honest. I thought about these videos a lot, and I had an insight. I started this YouTube channel as a way to push myself creatively, but also a way to inspire you guys. Whether it's photo, video, maybe it's something that's not even related to this YouTube channel. I made every excuse in the book not to take photos, not to start a channel. Heck, I had my Canon Rebel T5 for almost 2 years before I even turned it on. I had a kit lens. I bought it as a kit. I made every excuse not to turn that thing on. I don't have a good enough lens yet. I don't have this. I don't know how to do that. I made every excuse in the book. So I wanted to just show these videos, show all the things that I do, inspire people to go out no matter what. The first videos I made, I didn't even have a mic. I used my Olympus camera's internal mic, because it's important to just do things anyways. Get out of those excuses and start pushing yourself creatively. So with that being said, I had an idea. Now, I always go out and shoot time lapses. I don't always post them because sometimes I fail, but I do always shoot time lapses. I usually just post them to my Instagram and then that's really it. So I wanted to share not only my failures, but I wanted to share those time lapses with you guys. Make these time lapse vlogs, if you will. Maybe share some of my settings, some of my thought process. Just share the entire BTS of how I shoot time lapses, why, how, who, when, what, where. So today, well, it's actually 4 in the morning, so is it nighttime? No, it's AM, so that's morning, right? So today, I'm gonna pick up Cody. I'm actually gonna eat some breakfast first, but I digress. I'm gonna eat some breakfast first. I'm gonna pick up Cody. We're gonna head to this spot. We're gonna head to a place we've never been before. I don't know what to expect, so this is gonna be a great adventure. Whether this is a win or a fail, I'm gonna share these with you. I don't think enough people share their failures, and I think within every failure is a great opportunity to learn, and that's what I wanna share with you guys. Let's do this. Just checking in here. This is where we're supposed to go, but as you can see, it's closed off. Look at the Subaru all dusty. Woo! I'm still excited because there's this road here that looks like it goes parallel according to maps. The only downside is when you have no internet connection and your GPS is already loaded, when it tries to redirect you, we're gonna lose connection. So I'm gonna try to take screenshots of the direction and hope that works when we lose service or whatever. But so it turns out that this is a restricted area. We see some airplanes over there, like right over there. You probably can't see. I'll see if Cody can capture that. This is definitely not the right direction. So Apple Maps, you have failed me yet again. This is completely restricted, yet that is the way we need to go. So we're gonna have to double back and try to figure out the way there. Kind of creepy, just because there's like military, what look like military stuff, like far yonder in the distance over there, like actual jets. Yeah, those look like F-16s. That's super creepy. And we're in the middle of the nowhere and there's like random buildings, places. This probably is not the great idea to be even filming here, but made it to our location. The thing with time lapses, especially with sunset and sunrise time lapses, when you have clouds in the sky, it helps with movement. Otherwise, it's just a light change and it's not great. Granted, we have a lot of shadow play here because of how big these things are. We're kind of in this little, like, what you call this, a ravine? Yes. Nook, whatever, insert word here. Bing. Granted, there's a lot of shadow play in this kind of little canyon area that we're gonna camp. I'm still not sure if we're actually gonna do Holy Grail time lapses here because there's no clouds in the sky. This is the perfect condition for astrophotography. No wind, no clouds, no precipitation. Hey, that's the first time I said that without saying precipitation. No precipitation, so this is perfect astro weather. However, it's close to a full moon, which means the moon's gonna be out all night. I think it goes down around 2 o'clock. So I think at night we're gonna get some killer photos, but I doubt sunset's really gonna give us anything, but who knows? Let's find out. Let me give you a tour of our camp. So the ground here is like limestone, or it's really hard, so I wasn't able to use,
that's what she said.
I wasn't able to use the stakes, although Cody's stakes are sort of in. Cody's stakes are sort of in. He hammered those in there. Mine, however, is just rocks pretty much everywhere. Thankfully, I have a very cheap sleeping mat, so that's gonna help. I'll show you guys that later when we hop in the tent. Pretty excited nonetheless, just to be out here experiencing something new, going to a place we've never gone before, even though we went about an hour and a half in the wrong direction. Cody and I are scoping out some spots to shoot time lapses. I've got some good ideas for night and for astro, but I'm struggling to really feel inspired with no clouds for sunset, but it is what it is. I think the shadows will look rad. I'll probably just do some stills for sunset. We'll get into the settings that I'm going to use for astro later. If I end up shooting a sunset time lapse, then I'll show you the settings. I'll show you what I'm thinking, but I mean, this place is pretty majestic. It's pretty rad. Thankfully, it's not super hot. I mean, even 80 degrees here it's pretty hot, but for the desert, it's not bad. Found a couple cool perspectives. I think I'm gonna shoot some up high, one down low. I do have 2 cameras. I doubt I'm gonna shoot a time lapse. I'm definitely not gonna do it a day to night time lapse. There's just not enough cloud movement. Even the shadow cast is not super great, but who knows? I'm gonna push myself anyways. I might just head over that ridge and set up a time lapse. One thing I wanna try though, since I'm not gonna do a day to night time lapse, I might do one just to show the shadow movement. I think I'm gonna try an astro panorama. I've never done that before. And I can do it handheld on the tripod, but the Syrup Genie Mini that I have has an actual panorama setting in their app, if you will. You can set some parameters to do a panorama, and I have the 18mm and I also have the 35. I've never done it before. Why not? Cody's on his way back over here right now. We kind of parted ways to try to find some different perspectives and things to shoot. I think I might be bummed if I don't shoot a time lapse, so I'm gonna head over to that ridge. I will actually set up a time lapse, even just for an hour, to show the shadow movement, just to help tell a story and really work on my time lapses. Let's do that. It's not looking great, but I'm gonna let it go for like 35 minutes just to kind of get the shadows moving across. It's really not looking great though, because the foreground and the bottom, kind of the road that we drove in on is just one color. It's just shade. But who knows? I'll let it run. I'm kind of excited because there's like some clouds over there, but I think it's from the fire, which is not gonna look good if it comes over at night, because then you won't be able to see the clouds. If it's real dusty and there's debris in the sky, you won't be able to see the clouds. So in this time lapse, we're shooting aperture priority mode. So if you watch my time lapse tutorial or you follow me, you know that I love aperture priority. It's gonna prioritize the aperture that I lock in and will change the light based on the shutter speed. I also have ISO set to auto, but I have the ISO set locked so that it will not go above 3200, which introduce, in my opinion, a little too much noise. And then I have the compensation wheel set to -7, which is going to underexpose it slightly so I can retain the details and the highlights. So we'll just let this run for 30 minutes and hope for the best. the interest of things not going super great, there were some kit foxes that came over and tried to take our pistachios. We closed up the bag, we put them in the car. We went up to this hill to take some photos, and Cody turns around and shines a light down there. One of the kit foxes jumped on our chair, pissed on the chair, where Cody's camera just happened to be sitting, so they ended up peeing on Cody's camera. I shouldn't be laughing, it's not, who am I kidding, it's funny as hell. It would suck if it was me, so I do feel bad, Cody, but it's kind of funny. There was supposed to be no wind, there is wind. There was supposed to be no clouds, there is a lot of haze, which I believe is from the fire. I don't know if it's exact, I don't think it's clouds, because it does look like fire haze. To say the least, things always happen, but I don't think enough people on YouTube, Instagram, social media in general, share enough of their failures. The thing that I want to do, I talked about it earlier, is I want to inspire you guys to do something, whether it's none of the related things that I do, just to inspire you, to share my failures with you, because I fail a lot, and I don't think I share my failures enough. So on that note, we kind of failed because Cody's camera got peed on. I made a promise to myself to share more behind the scenes with you guys right now, so we have a headlamp on top of my car, kind of pointed like this direction. Cody's sitting back there with a headlamp there, as you can see, kind of faced off to the side. These are the types of things that I don't share enough, that I want to share more of. It's actually getting kind of cold now because I think it's 7 o'clock. I might put on a jacket. As you can tell, I'm still in jeans and a t-shirt because it's, what would you say, 65, maybe 70?
70 probably.
70? But it's only 7 o'clock. We have like 5 hours. The sun sets at 2 a.m. No, the moon sets at 2 a.m. So we set an alarm for 1:45. We're gonna get to bed now. It's only 7 o'clock. Get some shut-eye, wake up at 1:45, shoot some astro time lapses and some stills. I'm in the tent here. I have my little cheap air mattress and air pillow, and I have my below zero sleeping bag, which I think is gonna be a little overkill tonight. So I'll probably end up using it as a blanket and not an actual sleeping bag. But I'm gonna get some rest and check in with you guys at 2 a.m. It's about 1:45. Told you I'd see you at 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. I'm gonna get up so we can start shooting some astro. Actually slept pretty good. And then remember when I said it wasn't super cold? Well, it's cold, but it ain't super cold. Let's do this. Up at 2 a.m. because we somehow miscalculated that the moon was going to set at 2. The moon actually hits the horizon at 3, which means it doesn't go down until 3:30. So we have about an hour and a half of just kind of waiting time. Could have been sleeping. Feel somewhat rested, but we have an hour and a half to kill, so I'm up high on this hill, so I'm going to do a couple panoramas of the kind of whole city. What do you... just the view from up top. You can kind of see a lot of these pinnacles, a lot of this weird city over here, which I think is a military base. Not really sure at this point, because there's a landing strip there too. So I'm gonna do some research when I get home so I don't look entirely stupid. I have the Syrup Genie Mini 2 here set up. It's gonna help me do a panorama so that it's perfectly level. The moon is still out, so I'm not sure what settings I'm gonna use. I'm gonna have to play around. Right now it's set at 10 seconds. I'm shooting on the 18mm, so it's at 2.8. At ISO 1000. I'll start there and see what it looks like, but the moon is definitely lighting up the entire foreground, which could look kind of nice, but I'm not sure how many stars you're going to be able to see, but I don't know, let's find out. Coffee's made, eating breakfast. I feel content. I feel overall this trip was really great. I set out on this trip to really push myself creatively and inspire you guys, so at least one of the views get inspired to do something, then I'll feel great about it. I definitely want to push myself to give you guys a little bit more behind the scenes, so you can, if you're interested in any of this stuff, you can kind of see what goes on behind the scenes. I think more importantly, a lot of times I still do this. People compare they compare their behind the scenes to somebody's highlight reel. Instagram is literally a highlight reel. So if you're scrolling through and you see all these amazing photos from all these photographers, those are only their best photos. No one shares the shitty photos they take or the 10 times they go out and fail and the light is crap. So that's exactly what I want to do. Now this channel's not only going to be that, but there are going to be sprinkled these videos in between. We're going to do gear views and tutorials. Those will still be there. But I just want to inspire you. The problem was for myself is I let all of these excuses, I don't have a good camera, I don't have a good lens, I don't have a mic. I let all of these excuses keep me from doing the things that I wanted to do. And that's not the point. Like, you should get out there and do it anyways. If you only have a phone, use a phone. Learn the basics. Don't worry about those stupid flashy transitions and zooms and flips and this, that, and the other. Just learn the basics of what you have. And that's the whole point of these videos, is just to inspire people to do that. Yeah. I'm gonna eat the rest of my breakfast. I'm gonna drink the rest of this coffee. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my day. And remember, 1% better every day.